What up, peeps? Energy here, and today's Energy broadcasting system was inspired by my beautiful soul brother, Michael Porfiry, and the DHL delivery that was made to me by this great guy named Eric. You know, I'm in a field that I've worked really hard to create, a wedge in an industry that, like most industries, mine is just a fitness. There's a lot of boxes, and this is how it's supposed to look like, and this is how you're gonna climb up the ladder, and this is how you're gonna arrive or where you're supposed to arrive if you take these steps and you do. I have learned by experience that is not necessarily the way it works. Does that work for some people? Absolutely. But does it work for everybody? Is that the only way that you can obtain that? No, I disagree, because I'm living proof of that. I've never, because of circumstances at one point, and then it quickly became decisions I was making not to do anything by the box, not to do anything by what's considered the norm. And I still have arrived exactly where I've arrived, because like an arrow that was pointing every time that I got pulled back, I knew, pull me back as hard as you want to pull me back, strip me down, because I know in the direction that I'm heading. Irrelevant to all the noise on the outside that's saying that the only way I was going to arrive there, that it had to look this way, and it hasn't looked that way. So, I'm sitting down in front of Michael today, and we're talking in depth, I find it I'm very grateful, and it's extremely enlightening for me, and it levels me up to sit across someone that I am humbled to and can listen to what they're telling, and they're shifting in me and changing in me. I also had the opportunity the other day with Anna Palmer, Claire's sister, another person that speaks in a state of flow, that it naturally just comes out of them. Don't necessarily fit in the norm, that they're doing something on purpose and with purpose, and not necessarily because of how it looks like or how people say it's supposed to look like, but rather what they feel, to connect with a feeling and going from that space rather than what it looks like, because they've lost sight of sight. So sitting in front of Michael today and us, in a state of flow of talking and dialoguing back and forth, he reminds me when I'm speaking to him and he's speaking to me, we're reminding each other. It's not because we know more than anybody else. Just like when I was doing yoga with her on Friday, and she stepped into a state of flow, and when she's speaking and she's feeling it, it's not because she knows more or because Michael knows more, because I know more. No, we're greater than. No, it's because we're coming because we have made more mistakes than the average. We've stumbled along the path of life, but also most importantly, I can speak for myself, I self-reflect. If I had to go back now and everything that I've experienced from childhood, from birth, from the moment I took my first breath, everything that I've experienced throughout my life, every relationship, every human, the parents that I was born from into this earth, everybody that I have encountered to this moment at 11:56 p.m. on October 7th, Monday, I would change nothing. And I know I've said that in other podcasts. I would change nothing, simply because it has brought me here, and I've put the work in to break down and look at my life and my actions and my decisions and my reactions to stuff, and looked at them and really analyzed them and said, okay, I can tweak here, I could have done this better. Never looking at what anybody else is doing, because that's ego kicking in and saying no, because no. So, and I know I used Michael and Anna as my inspiration, and that DHL delivery guy is going to come up in a moment. It's irrelevant. It's about looking into self. Like, what is the role? How am I going to arrive at the plate every time at 100%? Irrelevant to how many things are happening to me, how many times I'm being torn down, what isn't happening around me that's not fair or fair. It's irrelevant. It's how am I going to react? How am I going to act? How am I going to allow myself to take this in? I'm always going to take it in. And like I was talking with Michael today, in the same way that he lives his life, we're gonna take it on and look, okay, this is what I can do different, and I'm grateful for that, with no hate. Hate is, you're only hating yourself. It's like feeding rat poison to yourself, because you can't stand that other person. You're feeding that. That's hate, resentment, regret, anger, jealousy. That all feeds into the ego, and it holds us down. It keeps us down. It doesn't allow us to propel forward. So, today the DHL driver, he had a package for me that was going to be delivered to a home that I had, I shared with someone about 2 years ago. And he's like, listen, I'm here, and the lady here is telling me that you don't live here. And I can't deliver, the package. She's refusing to accept the package, and I'm not sure why she refuses. Just take it to me, text it to me. But again, that's ego and stupid things that we just don't let go of, right? So she's not wanting to call me, and he's like, listen, she's refusing to take the package. I can't just leave it here. So I give him the address to the studio, and he's like, well, that's outside of my range. I'm like, yo, that's like a mile or less than a mile away. And he's like, listen, I'm like, listen, I'm grateful that you called me, because there's gratitude there. He didn't need to call me. He could have said, fuck it. He called me, because that guy gets up every day to drive his truck to deliver, and he does it on purpose and with pride. So he calls me because he's like, yo, this person's not here. Your number's on this box. Let me call her. He didn't have to do that. So now I'm doing this broadcast with my first take, and I gave him the address to here, and I'm like, if you get a chance and an opportunity, drop it off. And if not, look, I completely understand. The guy knocks on my door, so I have to stop taping, and I go out there, and I open up the door, and it's this guy. He's bringing me the box. He took the time out of his day, and I'm like, listen, I'm so grateful that you did this. And what is it? How does that tie in? It ties in because in life, he's taking pride. He's showing up to his plate as 100%. He ran into the circumstance, and he's doing what he feels good about, what it makes him feel good. Because I come here and I preach, and I'm doing this, and at the end of the day, it doesn't really do anything for me, because I'm not even remember what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just going to post it because I know that there's a reason why I'm doing this and sharing it. And I'm not even going to remember what I said here. And I know that it's going to change a life somewhere, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good in the act of service. It makes me feel good to get up every day here and do this, because I've created it, and it came from a lot of different adversities, and it's impossible because you're not doing it this way. I went around this way where everybody's being told to go that way, and I went this way where I still got there. And you can still get there. And I guess the purpose to all this and what I'm sharing, what I'm saying is, like, if you do what you love and on purpose and with purpose, and an act of service, and it's even if you're at home and there's pride in being a wife and being at home with your kids and taking pride on what you're doing at home and for your kids, and then picking up and then dropping off, whatever it looks like. Or you're a working horse and you're working, 80 hours a week, and you're building that's brings joy to your life, and then you get up every day and you're doing it on purpose and with purpose. That's what it's meant to. Because the moment that you're not doing something from that space, and we're tolerating and not really celebrating our lives, it's a difficult space to live in. And I think that there's a lot to be said of the ego. And I've shared it a lot in my broadcast, that the ego gets in the way, and the purpose to this specific broadcast, I mean, it's my inspiration to be around Michael, my inspiration that I got from Anna on Friday, the inspiration that the purpose of like sharing and talking about our own struggles and adversities and overcoming them lead to a great path. And at the end of the day, I'm sitting in front of my brother Michael today, and it was like joy to sit in front of him, joy to share, joy to see where we each have come from, where we're each at today, and where we're going, where we see it in our mind's eye. And I'm excited because everything is possible. To live in a space of unlimited possibilities, to live large and great is meant for all of us. No one is meant to live small. Things have been designed like, oh, these are the layers, and I'm up here, and this person's here, and this is supposed to be here, and you. No, we're all here. And we're all meant to be up here. We're all meant to live large. We're all meant to be great. You are enough. You deserve it. You are worth it. Thank you, Michael, for my inspiration. Thank you, Anna Palmer, for my inspiration. And thank you, my DHL delivery guy, for your inspiration. I love what I do, and I do what I love every day. I want to change lives. I want to make a difference. And I'm grateful for the platform that I have to do it. Energy out.